So do you guys remember that video of all the insane, overly rich women screaming in the woods, potentially for a therapy session that makes no sense? That one, I'm not going to subject you to any more of that. Well, this Instagram account that I came across posted about it in the most racist way humanly possible. And I mean disgustingly racist. White people, you gotta get that disrespect in there. White people named Sarah encountering uppity liberated Negroes be like, now, we know this was not about race. I don't know what these insane ladies were doing in the woods, spending thousands and thousands of dollars to do crap you could do in your own backyard, even though your neighbors might look at you funny. But I know that this was not about race. You know this wasn't about race. We all know this wasn't about race. But for whatever reason, narcissistic black folk have to make it about race. Why? We don't know. They just have a sense of entitlement. It's like the very entitlement they claim these white women have is the very entitlement they actually exude and they actually possess. But let's listen to what this man had to say in regards to the backlash he was getting. And let me just tell you, he assumes that it's all just white folk that got pissed off at this video because all black people are a monolith.
Oh, we knew this one was gonna cause some trouble. Comments talking about these women are going through therapy, they're working through trauma, stuff like that. I don't doubt that. But for a hot minute, let's talk about somebody else's trauma.
It's the narcissism for me. Oh, these women are dealing with trauma? These women are working through some things? These women are trying to get things done in a healthy, albeit very odd way? I don't care about that. Let's talk about me. I despise people like that.
It never ceases to amaze me how white folks get to walk through life having no idea how they affect other people.
The same nonsense could be said about black people, but if a white person were to say that about black people, you would scream racism in a heartbeat. You're the type of person who seems to think that, well, you can't be racist towards white people, so I can say whatever disgusting thing I want to and get away with it. And everybody who criticizes me, they're just white folk. They're just white folk, even though black folk like myself also criticize you.
For example, in this case, y'all have no idea that the sight of a screaming, crying, distressed white woman freaks black people out.
I truly don't know what race has to do with any of this, but the sight of a screaming, crying anybody out there in the woods out of nowhere would freak anybody out. It would freak me out if it was an Asian person. It would freak me out if it was another black person. So I don't know why you're making this solely about race. Except for, oh, I want to play victim because I can.
You know how an experienced hiker knows that if you come across a bear cub on a hiking trail and you don't see the mom, you're probably in danger? That's how we feel when we come across a distressed white woman.
Sir, I'm pretty sure you can only speak for yourself. Because I know that if this whole nonsense aside, if I saw a woman of any race in distress, legitimate distress, that would not freak me out. If it was a white woman, it wouldn't freak me out. Maybe it's because my parents are white. And for the Nimrods in the back who always seem to ask me, well, how can you be black and have white parents? It's called adoption. But I, her being white and distressed does not freak me out. It doesn't put my guard up or anything like that. It would actually make me have empathy for them because I actually care about anybody who's distressed regardless of their skin color. But it seems to me like if a woman was in legitimate distress to you and she was white, oh, you just run away. But if it was a black woman in the same type of distress, in the same type of situation, you would help that person out in a heartbeat. Disgusting behavior.
So you know the whole thing, would a woman rather be alone in the woods with a bear or a man? Ask a black guy if he'd rather be caught alone with a crying, screaming white woman or a bear. I'm not sure which one I'd pick.
And you can only speak for yourself. You can't speak for me or the thousands of other black guys who I'm positive disagree with your whole take on this situation. You can literally only speak for yourself. Don't drag everyone else into this. Because I promise you, Brandon Tatum or the Hodge twins or Candace Owens, they would all disagree with you. But then again, you seem like the type of dude who would, say there's some coonery going on if I had to choose the words that would come out of your mouth.
Y'all get to just forget that your tears have been getting killed for 400 damn years.
Ah, here we go. A black man who lives in America, who owns his own farm, going on about slavery that happened years and years and years and years ago. It's not like a black person's never gotten a white person unalived before. No, that's never happened in the history of forever. Black people are meek and gentle individuals who've never attacked white people simply for being white ever in the history of forever. Give me a freaking break, dude. You make the black community look really bad.
And since no one's ever asked y'all to give a you'll just throw something like this up on the internet, having no idea how it might affect a guy like me who, when I see it, it sends my heart rate into the stratosphere.
Oh, poor baby. Can't handle seeing white people scream. Oh. I wonder why I never sent my heart into the stratosphere. I'm half black, buddy. Obviously nowhere near as dark as this picture's making me out to be, because this is an AI-generated filter from TikTok, but boy, I wonder why I never sent my heart in the stratosphere or any of the other black people who covered this thing and just viewed it as something silly and stupid. Do you really have that much of a weak heart, or are you just being a little bit of a bitch?
The way I cope is to flip it into a joke, because that's a lot easier than just hating white people all the time.
Except with this so-called joke, which was clearly not a joke, you're still hating white people, so you trying not to hate white people all the time is showcasing you hating white people all the time. You're a racist and a bigot, and that's all you're ever gonna be, and that's all you're ever gonna come out to be, because if this is gonna be your attitude from here until the day you leave this plane of existence. This is you hating white people with your so-called joke, because if a white person were to make the exact same joke, it would be just as hateful.
If you're upset that I posted that joke without considering how you might feel about it, congratulations. You get the joke now. I'm treating you the way you treat us. It doesn't feel good, does it?
The smugness on this jackass's face really pisses me off. First off, he's one of those black people that thinks he can speak on the entire community and how the entire community feels. And if a black person, like a full-blown black person, not a half black person like myself, were to tell him he's wrong and he's being stupid, he would just flat out call them the magical coon word, and that, or a magical Negro or something like that. And this just pisses me off. His face pisses me off. How full of himself and how narcissistic he is. And here's the thing. Someone responded to him in his comment section saying that black people also do it and that black people were also invited to this whole mating ritual thing. I don't know what it is. I'm not defending these women's weird behavior. I'm just defending them not being racists. Someone said in the comment section, I'm brown and teach a class similar to this. You'd be surprised how much this form of meditation helps people cry, heal, and release suppressed emotions. Hers is for all women. Mine is for everyone because I recognize that not all men release their rage either. You're a free spirit, so this looks odd, but it's too many suppressed emotions in non-free spirited people. Oh, and she invites brown people too. Her events too, but her locations are in Ireland and Scottish areas, whilst mine are in ATL and online. And then this dude had the nerve to say, "Oh, I'd never have posted this if there was a black woman within 500 miles, but a bunch of white women filling themselves group screaming in the forest, Talbot, I don't know what he's trying to say. Being afraid is giving Carol Bryant via Emmett Till, and Becky's just gonna have to deal with getting roasted a little bit." So you get told that brown people are also invited to this, but because there were no brown people in the video, boom, this is your take from this. Wow, you are massively bigoted. Massively bigoted. Now, this jackass, and I will proceed to call anybody who acts like this towards any race of people a jackass. I realized once I went to his Instagram, I actually used to follow him on TikTok because of this video right here.
I'm a black farmer. My grandmother thinks I've lost my mind. I'm a black farmer. No one thinks I'm the owner. I'm a black farmer. Everybody thinks he's my boss.
Get your ass back to work, Leroy.
My name's not Leroy. I'm a black farmer, so you know I'm raising some chickens. I'm a black farmer. I hire white people to staff my farmer's market stall so people don't walk by without stopping. I'm a black farmer. There's 2,000 chickens on my property, but I still go to Popeyes twice a month. I'm a black farmer. I'm only able to do this because I have an engineering degree. I'm a black farmer. People are shocked to discover I'm not an urban gardener. I'm a black farmer. People are either really excited or really angry when I talk about racism in agriculture. I'm a black farmer. Yes, I've heard of Soulfire Farm. I'm a black farmer. It's hard to find black employees because most working class black folks associate farming with racism, and they ain't wrong. I'm a black farmer. I send my white employees and partners to the bank and the FSA so that by the time they realize the owner's black, they've already given me the money. I'm a black farmer. Restaurants like to tag me in their social media posts so it looks like they support black farmers, and then I never hear from them again. I'm a black farmer. I'm the only one at the livestock auction that isn't white, and I'm feeling a little nervous.
So I followed him because I love self-deprecating humor, and I thought that was exactly what he was doing, was being sarcastic, self-deprecating, all that other stuff, because I follow a lot of black people who post those exact same type of videos, but they don't mean it with any ill intent and no hate towards white people. But he obviously did, especially with this video that he came out with right after his defense of him mocking the screaming Karens that were in the woods. Again, I'm not defending the Karens that are screaming in the woods for no apparent reason whatsoever, but I just am tired of people calling individuals racist for no reason, or making things about them for no reason. So I'm not defending these women, but I'm just not calling them racist without any proof. But this is the video that he made after that.
Everyone, join me today on a safari, exploring some of the most dangerous creatures on planet Earth. That would be the slightly inconvenienced white woman known under the scientific genus Carentus. We'll be having a look at several members of the species, both common and rare. Emerging from its den now is the most common of all the Carentus subspecies, Carentus unitarus. This one, lacking the resources to procure a dictionary, believes unity is a word meaning black folks tolerating racial violence without complaint. And now, sliding in from the right, is another common member of the Carentus genus, the subspecies Carentus reversicus. This curious little one believes the discomfort she feels from the unpleasant reaction of others to racial oppression is itself a form of oppression. She is a truly fascinating creature. Now, the more rare Carentus whataboutus enters with a bit more of a flourish. One would believe that if it were true black people go about shrieking and so forth, then white people wouldn't be so shocked, outraged, and disgruntled when they hear it. Nevertheless, these comments persist from this relatively rare subspecies of Carentus. Heavens, look at that! Popping up from the swamps of Florida is Carentus laetus canis, also known as the hit dog. This one has developed a parasocial relationship with a companion species, Negro opitus liberatus, and is now quite devastated to discover that her companion simply doesn't give a damn about impressing her, and has determined to try only as hard as the Carentus species, rendering her extremely disappointed, but she doesn't realize her disappointment is with herself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to be treated to one of the rarest sights on all of Beyoncé's internet. Once believed to be nearly extinct, we see emerging from its den of progressivism the Carentus tyrannus. Tyrannus is the only member of the species that admits what the Carentus is. It does not feel, it does not think, it does not care about anything but itself, and everyone else must simply endure the consequences. The cruelty in her honesty is a refreshing reminder that black lives only matter insofar as it does not inconvenience white people. I hope this has been an educational and informative journey. Don't forget to buy my damn book, First Generation Farming. Link in bio.
People like him lead very sad lives. People like him lead very narcissistic lives. And people like him think he can speak on behalf of all black folk. But if a black person were to tell him he's wrong or disagree with him, boom, you're no longer a member of the black club. I hate people like this. The same way as I despise people like David Duke, who generalize all black people. I hate black people who generalize all white people. Racism is so stupid, yet here he is being fully willing to be as racist as humanly possible, all because he can. And what about this is racial violence? Again, none of this was ever reported to be about race. So you're making this narrative up in your head that this is all about racial violence and racial oppression and all this other stuff. You're the only black person I've seen talk about this who's made it solely about race. Gosh, you must be an insufferable boss. All of your white employees must be white guilt employees. Seriously, because I could not ever see myself or any of my white family members working for somebody as insufferable as you. Guys, don't be a jerk. Don't assume things are racist when you don't have any proof whatsoever that they are. And don't be like this guy where he views everything in a cloud of racism because he can. It's disgusting, it's sad, and it's just, quite frankly, annoying as hell. And you wonder why people are starting not to really like black people. It has nothing to do with our skin color. It has everything to do with us playing victim 24/7. Have a blessed day, guys. This is Gabe of Radio Blobfish signing off, saying take care and God bless. Peace out, everyone. On a real quick side note, I wonder how many of those encounters he spoke about in his video were true racism, or it was just people not wanting to deal with his annoying, self-righteous ass. Because quite frankly, if I was doing business with him, I'd have some things to say about him too. I ain't saying there ain't racism in farming, but why am I not hearing more and more farmers talk about it that are black? Take care.